This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Vilgas.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story tonight, the very busy tropics.
We now have two tropical storms, one that has now just basically become remnants of Tropical Storm Brett, and now we are looking at Tropical Storm Cindy. Cindy is in the Gulf of Mexico and is already kicking up surf along the coast. We're taking some look at some of those big waves there near the Florida-Alabama line. Louisiana and Texas bracing for severe flooding. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has, of course, been following this and is joining us now with the latest track on Cindy.
Yeah, hard to believe it's June right now, mid-June, and normally we're talking about, late July, August, September when we have two storms to talk about. One is Cindy now, not much to it in terms of wind speed. A lot of deep convection already making its way on into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama right now, even the panhandle of Florida, and a lot to the east, but not much right around the center. You can see it right there spinning. It looks like a poorly organized system, a lot of shear going on the left edge and western edge with some drier air moving in there too. But there it is. Top winds are at 45 miles an hour. It is stationary, but expected to take more of a west-northwesterly course in time as it makes its way toward the Texas and Louisiana border sometime on Thursday morning with top winds up to 45 miles an hour. You see this flashing here? That is a tropical storm warning that is in effect from Texas coast through Louisiana all the way over toward New Orleans in that tropical storm warning, meaning they may experience tropical storm force winds on the low side, and then it will make landfall and eventually get downgraded to a tropical depression or a tropical low near Memphis. It could bring some heavy rainfall there as well. And as far as the overall satellite imagery goes, this is Brett, but Brett wasn't around all that long. In fact, Brett now has been downgraded just to remnant low pressure area now. It's been sheared apart by this dry air coming off the Venezuela. And as far as that is concerned, we are looking for this system to continue heading west with no real threat of it developing back into anything tropical over the next few days. It makes its way again toward the west, toward the Yucatan Peninsula. Well, much more in our forecast. We're going to see minimal effects here. Some high surf, a rip current advisory in effect. Also, a few showers are possible through this evening. More on our weather coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Don't forget, you can get up-to-the-minute updates on the tropics as well as weather conditions across the area by downloading the ABC7 Weather and News app. Once you download the apps, you'll get updates on the forecast, breaking news, and local stories right on your phone.
Tonight we have some new details on a shootout in the Newtown community of Sarasota. Police were called to the area of 32nd Street and North Washington Boulevard yesterday afternoon. Multiple people reported that two cars were chasing each other and firing shots at each other. No one was hurt, but one business was hit by bullets. Police are searching for the suspects. Tonight, police are now releasing surveillance video of the two vehicles they believe were involved. One is described as a newer white Toyota Camry with graphite rims and dark windows seen there. The other is a 2012 or newer gold Chevy Malibu seen here with dark windows.
In other news, firefighters in Venice are making sure they are ready for all sorts of emergencies. And to do that, sometimes they actually start fires.
Firefighters burned a portable classroom to the ground as part of a live fire training session. But now, how that training is conducted is being changed. ABC7's Christopher Brantley is joining us live with more on what they're doing. Christopher.
Good evening, Scott and Haley. This is the smoldering remains of what used to be Venice Fire Department's training portable following last night's live fire training. All it took was a small fire in about 20 minutes. For 30 years, this portable held classes for firefighters. Monday night, it became a class.
Guys on the department need to drill like this.
For many years, Joe Forentino was one of the fire instructors.
Even if they just sit and watch, because it's one thing to see a video or read it in a book, but when you see it live in person.
It's the live in-person factor that drew the department to hold the burn. It took several months of preparation. The portable was tested to ensure there were limited combustible materials inside, and only a couch was placed inside to be fuel to the fire.
It allows us to examine fire behavior by burning it.
Firefighters examined from the outside, not making entry into the burning building. But it's more than just the portable that's going. In fact, the whole training academy located at Wellfield Park in Venice is being removed, although nothing else is set to be burned.
With today's technology and things that we have, we can do a lot of our training there at our stations.
This is what will replace the academy. In essence, these are multiple shipping containers stacked on each other. They can be moved and customized depending on what training is necessary. However, no burning will take place inside of them.
It's a great way to train, and again, it takes up less space, and we can keep them there at our stations, which makes it very convenient for us to train.
At Monday night's training, we were struck by just how fast the portable burned.
A structure of this type, 20 minutes, that's it. You're not saving anything after that.
The new shipping containers are also much cheaper than maintaining the whole academy. Each one of the containers costs between about $1,000 and $2,000. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. State and local leaders are looking at what can be done to alleviate the traffic congestion and bumper-to-bumper traffic between Palmetto and Bradenton in the future. Staff with Florida Department of Transportation meeting with the Manatee County Commission today. FDOT officials pointed out that the Green and DeSoto bridges across the Manatee River are expected to see increased traffic over the next 15 years. Now, FDOT and local agencies are looking at the possibility of improving that traffic flow in the area by adding a third bridge.
When we say a third bridge, what we're really referring to is an ability for those through trips that do not have an origin or destination in Bradenton or Palmetto, those trips that are coming off of 275 that want to go to points further south, to get them through the area and get them out of the local traffic.
FDOT will hold a public workshop for Manatee County residents in the fall.
Some big news for the future of the city of Sarasota. Officials are moving forward with a plan to make the city healthier by using renewable energy. City commissioners want to power the city of Sarasota with 100% renewable energy within the next 30 years. Commissioners voted unanimously yesterday to join the Sierra Club's Ready for 100 initiative. They will voluntarily aim for city operations to be powered by renewable energy by the year 2030. And then they hope to power the entire city of Sarasota by 2045. Supporters say it would benefit the Suncoast significantly.
The residents should be really proud, and the community should be really proud and excited that they're taking this on. It's going to be some work. It's going to take cooperation with the utilities, with the businesses. I know that many people are eager.
Sarasota will be the third city in Florida to join this initiative led by the Sierra Club to be entirely energy efficient.
City of Sarasota is also moving forward with a $1 million plan to renovate a park in the Newtown community. The commission voting unanimously to approve the improvement plans for Fred Atkins Park. This popular hangout spot is located at the intersection of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and US 301. The changes include removing the current gazebo, upgrading the bathrooms, and eventually adding pavers to make the area more user-friendly.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, we had such a great day yesterday. We want to know if there was any follow-through today.
Haley, the short answer is no. There was no follow-through, but keep in mind, not only did we close at records yesterday, both the Dow and the S&P had been up for 3 consecutive days. So the top to bottom range for the day was 68 points, but only 7 of those on the top. We lost most of it on the downside later in the afternoon. We call that profit taking when we don't know what else to say. So let's look at the numbers, see how they closed. There you see the Dow down 62 points, not quite 0.3% at 21,467.14. That on volume of 774 million shares. The NASDAQ, the big winner yesterday, the big loser today, down 51 points, more than 0.8% at 6,188.03. That on volume of 1,661 million shares. The S&P down as well, 16.5 points, 2/3%, closing at 2,437.03. You probably know the name Lennar Homes. They're the second largest home builder in this country. They have a very substantial presence in Sarasota and Manatee County, and they also own U.S. Homes, which has a very substantial presence here as well. Well, the company's stock was up by more than 2% today after they announced really a perfect storm. They said they're selling more homes than they thought they would sell and at higher prices. Guess it doesn't get too much better than that, except to say their backlog is higher than expected as well. So it looks like everything is going well for Lennar Homes, and they've certainly been in this area for a long time.
Built a lot of homes here, that's for sure.
They have.
And there are some issues today for Chipotle.
Scott, they can't seem to keep out of their own way. The stock was down 7% today. They said they're going to have to spend a lot more money on advertising than they originally anticipated. They still can't get that E. coli stigma behind them.
All right, Richard, thanks so much for the update.
You are welcome.
Still to come on your Suncoast News tonight, the most expensive house race in history. The high stakes surrounding today's election in Georgia.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full forecast, plus an update on the tropics. And a diet fad called into question, why some experts say you may want to limit the coconut oil. That's straight ahead.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
It's summer vacation time, but how can families take the memories home with them? I'm Joey Panic. On Suncoast View, one of our favorite mommy bloggers teaches us some summer crafts for the whole family. It's also National Selfie Day, and we're going to teach Linda how to take the perfect selfie. Plus, Suncoast for Sale helps us get the most bang for our buck, and the best of Savor Sarasota is in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Fresh out of the box, the Alfa Romeo won us over. We went in skeptical and left in awe of this gorgeous machine. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
It does things that seem impossible. Feeling like it could change direction while airborne. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now to the hotly contested special election in Georgia. Republican Karen Handel and Democrat Jon Ossoff squaring off for a House seat long held by Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. Voters are casting their ballots today. ABC's Ariel Reshef shows us what's at stake in the most expensive congressional race in history.
It's the local race with plenty of national intrigue.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hi, how are you? Republican Karen Handel and Democrat Jon Ossoff spending $50 million on the high-stakes contest, making it the most expensive ever.
The president is on the ballot. This has national implications for a couple of reasons. One is this is the kind of district that Democrats kind of need to win if they're going to take back the House next year.
Flip the six! Flip the six! Democrats hoping a historic upset will deal a blow to President Trump's agenda.
There are folks across the country who have lost faith. And in this room, this team has the power to help restore some of that faith.
Republicans aiming to solidify their district stronghold and send a message for the 2018 congressional midterms.
A squirrel is going to get a pretty decent percentage of the vote if he has $30 million behind him.
The race a dead heat.
It has galvanized people who were sitting at home before.
A coveted victory resting squarely in the hands of the party that can get out the vote.
Both candidates are downplaying the national implications of this race, but the president is clearly paying attention, tweeting 3 times in the last 24 hours in support of the Republican candidate. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, Atlanta, Georgia.
The federal agency that oversees disasters and recovery efforts has a new leader. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of President Donald Trump's pick to lead the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. Brock Long previously ran Alabama's Emergency Management Agency and served as that state's on-scene incident commander during the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. Long takes over the agency at the beginning of hurricane season, of course. The agency has already managed 41 disaster declarations this year, and the Trump administration has proposed cutting nearly $1 billion from the agency's budget. So yes, he is stepping in at a busy time.
Yeah, I think maybe, Cindy may have nudged that decision a little bit quicker.
Right.
And also, Brad, this gives you a little indication, though, that we are in tropical season. Obviously, you have to have your hurricane evacuation zone, know where you live, and also have your projects as far as that goes all done and set up, your kits already. And said also, you want to tune into mysuncoast.com, and you can watch our special that we aired on June 1st, and that's always available for you to check that out. If you missed it, check it out, and also download our app, My Suncoast app. You can actually track the storms as they move around the Atlantic Basin, and it can tell you the cone of uncertainty and where the storm may be headed. We're lucky with Cindy, it's not heading anywhere close to our area. I know it's kicking up some waves, though, right now, and you can see those waves, not all that impressive, but they are up to 3 to 4 footers right now. Surfers out there, and the rip current advisory in effect for area beaches as a result of the higher surf generated from the system, and it's going to continue to do so. This area of low pressure will continue to send waves our way through Wednesday, so the rip current advisory will stay with us throughout the day on Wednesday, eventually I think subsiding by Thursday once it makes landfall Thursday morning. But Cindy develops and Brett fades away. It wasn't around long. Tropical storm Brett, no longer a tropical storm, just remnant low. Tropical storm warnings now are up for Texas and Louisiana. We showed you that earlier, and I mentioned the rip current risk for area beaches up and down west central Florida. Heavy rain is the big story with Cindy. It's not going to be a big windstorm. We could see a few isolated tornadoes with it as it makes its way into Louisiana and into Mississippi and Alabama. Even the Florida Panhandle getting hit hard with some heavy rainfall. So could see some isolated areas up to 10 inches, but generally we're seeing 4 to maybe 7 inches of rainfall throughout mainly Louisiana too. The heaviest rain by far to the north and east of the center. We missed all that training effect that occurred today out in the Gulf of Mexico, although a few showers are possible through this evening. We're already starting to see some of that developing with temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s, and just enough humidity around. Yes, indeed, some moderate to heavy rainfall occurring now. Along I-75, right there near Fruitville, stretching down into Bee Ridge, near Laurel Oak, stretching up to Terra, pretty close to Terra in about an hour from now, as it makes its way off to the northwest, and other showers and storms starting to develop along that line. So expect an occasional shower or even a possible thunderstorm throughout the next couple of hours. Then things quiet down. Well, Cindy, poorly organized at this point with the deep convection well away from the center. And then this has been blown apart by some dry wind coming off of Venezuela and some upper level winds kind of pushing it to the north. As far as Cindy is concerned, the top winds are at 45. It's nearly stationary. Looks like it's going to make landfall sometime early Thursday morning with 45-mile-an-hour winds. That's a pretty weak system. We're happy about that. And then this is now just a tropical, actually remnant low as it makes its way off toward the west. We do not expect any further development as it makes its way into the western Gulf of Mexico. For us, 86 right now. We have a few clouds around and a few isolated storms. I mentioned the dew point way up there, 75 degrees. It's warm, it's muggy. It's going to stay that way overnight. Temperatures currently at 86 in Sarasota, but near the coast into the mid to upper 80s there, but low 90s in places like Arcadia, Avon Park, Wauchula at 90, and the Gulf water temperature now at 85 degrees. Those winds were strong today out of the south and southeast. They'll let up a little bit tomorrow. We'll look for better boating conditions as we push toward the weekend for Thursday and Friday. Hot, extremely hot out west. Much cooler over the Great Lakes. 67 right now in Chicago. Just to the south of that in St. Louis, it's 91 degrees. Well, for boaters, I mentioned the winds will be out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and small craft should exercise caution. Seas up to 3 to 5 feet, and choppy conditions there. Better boating as we push toward the weekend. Rain chance at 50% as we start summer on Wednesday, and then our rain chances drop a little bit. Friday and Saturday, just 30%. Weekend looks good. And then we'll get back to the afternoon and evening storms, rather numerous, Monday and Tuesday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And Suncoast Traffic Watch. Some good news tonight for drivers in the rush hour. I-75, all green, moving smoothly, both north and southbound. Hope it stays that way. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In Health News tonight, a study finds that a compound in certain vegetables, including broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage, can help those with type 2 diabetes. In the study, researchers gave sulforaphane to obese patients in the form of concentrated broccoli sprout extract. They found it improved the patient's glucose levels and reduced their glucose production, two symptoms of diabetes that can lead to other health problems, including heart disease, nerve damage, and blindness. Scientists at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden say this could lead to treatments for diabetes in the future. Coconut oil has become quite the health fad, and not just for hair and skin. Many people are cooking with it or adding it to their food, and that's stumping heart health experts. The American Heart Association is recommending against eating it because it is high in saturated fat. In fact, 82% of the fat in coconut oil is saturated, even higher than butter at 63% and beef fat at 50%. Coconut oil, a reminder, 82%. The Dietary Fats and Cardiovascular Disease Advisory reviewed existing data on this saturated fat, showed coconut oil increased LDL, or bad cholesterol, in all controlled trials. Coming up, a new service that could drastically cut down on the number of boating accidents, how a new Uber-like company works, plus a backpack for kids of the digital age. What's so different about this new book bag? Straight ahead.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Sarasota Ford.
The Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix was first organized in 1985. What began as an annual beach picnic for local children with special needs has expanded into an 11-day festival with the races televised to more than 100 countries. The entire festival is produced by Suncoast Charities for Children. The Grand Prix not only generates revenue for charity, but also a significant economic impact. Last year's event generated an economic impact of $37 million.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Belt Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Na in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
It's Lincoln's Summer Sales Event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
A news crew in South Florida helping solve a missing child case.
A news chopper spotted a boy who was reported missing in Hialeah near Miami, sleeping on the roof of his home earlier today. Yep, the 11-year-old was found a few hours after he disappeared. The boy climbed down to safety. He's okay. His parents say this is not the first time he has run away. This time they say he took off because of an argument with his mom.
It's a new business venture that could be very profitable on the Suncoast. It's like Uber for boats. Anchor is a new company that provides a ride-sharing service on the water. Right now, it's available at the Lake of the Ozarks. People can download an Anchor app on their smartphone and request a ride. The owner of the company says he came up with this idea after a friend of his died in a boating accident.
Folks come down from St. Louis and Kansas City and all over the Midwest, really, who are able to rent a boat but really don't have any experience on what it's like to operate a boat.
All of Anchor's drivers have to pass a background check and comply with the state boating laws.
Well, this could be the backpack of the future. JanSport has developed 300 backpacks that have programmable fabric that let you share a music video or Facebook page with other people nearby. The threads of each backpack are arranged in a unique pattern that allows each backpack to be identified by a designated smartphone app, similar to using a QR code. JanSport says the backpack is still under experimentation, but it could hit the market as soon as next year. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep up with all of the, all the technology because the kids have it. So
and kids
makes sense.
Use backpacks still.
They still do. I mean,
yeah.
It's still useful. Even adults. I mean, they do come in handy. They're hands-free. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, revitalizing downtown Bradenton.
What the city is doing to try to lure more people and more money to Main Street and the Riverwalk area. Stay with us.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
What's a nice Jewish girl to do when she can't introduce her WASP boyfriend to her conservative parents? Hire an actor. Hilarious and insightful, Bo Jest is at the Player Center June 14th through the 25th, and it's your ticket to a sizzling summer. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Don't miss Bo Jest.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.